Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one here tonight in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. And our guest, a man that hasn't been here in over a year, just a little over a year, nearly to the day. And boy, has the wrestling world changed, and the world of BYCW changed. And boy, it has changed for the better, and it is certainly a big pool here, a big talent pool. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some names that will always come up here. We're going to talk about this guy, Austin Edwards, and apparently Austin Edwards wants a shot at the man that was here on Sunday that our guest has quite a history with, and I am sure is going to have plenty to say. Yeah, just spoiler alert, this little guy's some nemesis. Yeah, we'll talk about him. We'll definitely be talking about him. We'll also talk about this guy Blackheart, and did Blackheart contribute to the demise of Dalton Skull in the main event of night 2 of Speed Limit 6? I'll talk about that, and you'll be surprised as to why I brought that up. We'll also talk about what is next for BYCW. We've got a new general manager. We've got some new talents. We've got a world that has changed and put BYCW in certainly near the top of the food chain in the entire wrestling world, not just in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. We've even got something for our guest tonight. I've got a little something for him. No, it's not quite that surprise, but I have something that I am sure is going to honor and recognize this man, because it has been a hot minute since he's been here. He has seen talent after talent from BYCW come on here, and he has heard plenty over the past few months about James Taylor. Yes, spoiler alert, the PWF Uprising and the BYCW Undisputed Champion, say all that he got off his chest. But now it's time to let this man speak to the world. But before I do that, and I know it's been over a year, and he may have forgotten what it's like, but even the introduction since the last time he came here has changed drastically. So I'm going to give him an introduction that I am sure he's going to remember for a lifetime, because I see some people here in our chat that I think will be here, well, as soon as this weekend. But in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, because our guest wants it, you want it in the chat, and I am ready to start this night off in style on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 Gavel Spot Show. A man that has held serve for a decade in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit, putting BYCW as one of the standard bearers today in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. His name is, simply put, the owner of BYCW, Dalton My friend, how are we doing?
Well, I've been doing better, but I'm here. I'm on Sportzwire, the biggest show. The brightest lights, the biggest stage.
Yeah.
Here we are once again. It's been over a year, about as long as my PWF Uprising Championship run.
Yeah, you are the greatest PWF Uprising champion, and you're one of the greatest backyard wrestling champions of all time. And we're going to talk a lot about that, I am sure. But yeah, it is. You have been one of these guys that has been elusive to come on Sportswire in the past year. I mean, Rhino came on before you did in the last year. I mean, that's crazy. Rhino, Savio Vega, and ECW's Gary Wolf, who was Pitbull #1. They all came on Sportswire before you did in the last year.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that those legends. On top of that, we had heavy metal icons. Mark Kendall from Great White, once bitten, twice shy, hit number 5 on the Hot 100. Mark Kendall was here from Great White. I had him since you were here. Grand Funk Railroad, we're an American band. Mark Farner was here before you. I mean, Kix' Brian Damage Forsythe, only Don't Close Your Eyes, hit number 11 in the Hot 100 in 1989. I just had King's ex Doug Pinnick, who played at Woodstock, and compared my voice to James Hetfield of Metallica. And I just had LA Guns frontman Phil Lewis here. And all these names came before you, but you finally come back, and welcome home.
Hey, man, when I think of the last time I was on here, you guys were, you were at 500 subscribers, 600?
Yeah, I was at, about six and change. Well, how about you? How about BYCW? You guys were, I think, right around the same number, right? It was like 500-ish, maybe, something like that?
I think it was I think when I was on here, I think it was close to 400, something like that.
And I think when you had,
almost at 1,400.
I know, it's crazy. I looked at, you guys were 1,370 something, and we're at 1,500 and change. Yeah, I mean, where does the time go? But welcome back. I certainly am going to. I hope you don't take a year to come back again. I hope you come back sooner.
Hey, I just don't want to, overexpose myself, I guess.
No, listen, you should come back more often. Once a year. Listen, I who knows? I might be dead after my intro tomorrow.
Oh, don't say that,
Maybe I'm kidding.
Yeah, maybe I have to come on more. Especially
you should come on more.
Seeing legends like that being on a show like this, and a name like
it's been a great honor. No, before we start the show, and I want to talk to you. A lot of people have come into the chat, which we're very grateful for. It's really because of guys like you, companies like BYCW. I see IMF here. I see the WVWF. I see ROEW. And really, if it wasn't for the backyard underground and the independent wrestling circuit, Rhino wouldn't have came here, first of all. Savio Vega wouldn't have came here. And all these, heavy metal bands, they wouldn't have came here. They saw the views. They saw the subscribers. And if it wasn't for you, everybody in your locker room, the companies that are represented here, NEWs out there, TF Crew, everybody that's been here, if it wasn't for all of you, we wouldn't have got those names. Just remember that.
On the behalf of the boys and all them federations, we want to thank you as well for also putting our name out there. So, without each other, there probably wouldn't even be a show. You know what I mean?
No, listen, it takes two to tango. But Dalton Skull, there is a lot to talk about. And I have a feeling this is going to be a memorable one tonight, because now I see the chat is exploding, which they maybe just want me to get on with the intro. They want to see you. They like you. But Dalton Skull, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and BYCW most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. What is your reactions, especially to what James Taylor, the nemesis, had to say about you, and maybe you guys finally having that one-on-one match?
I mean, it's something that everybody's been wanting. You know, like you said, about 2-3 years build up from companies from like way back all the way to now to BYCW. A few months ago, after I retained my Uprising Championship, James Taylor wants to walk his way up into BYCW. He wants to get a match into a triple threat, gets his number one contender spot, dips out for a few months, doesn't want to show up for a pay-per-view because he doesn't like how the pay-per-view is represented. I mean, it's 420 SmackDown, bro. Earth Day. Come on. Not everybody smokes pot. Now, we're going to go on, and now look at him. He's the PWF Uprising BYCW champion, the BYCW Undisputed champion. But I wasn't pinned. Like I heard him. He's going to say that. I was going to say that. And exactly. I'm going to say it right now. I wasn't pinned. Blake Steele was pinned. The part-timer who got lazy and hasn't been there every single week like me. Not these men. Not James Taylor. Not Blake Steele. Both of them got lucky. Because you know what? It is after Speed Limit, and I've already been on the show. They wasn't there. Neither one of them was on the show after Speed Limit. And guess what? There's going to be a show coming up, and I don't even think they were on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we had an announcement from our new general manager, Chase Sullivan. You're in action against Okami Skull, and there was no mention of the nemesis James Taylor, not a single mention of him. I mean, and, you know, it's funny that you brought up the fact that you weren't pinned. And if you think about it, and I kind of alluded to it at the beginning, Dalton Skull, I could actually make the point that really maybe you would be the PWF Uprising and the BYCW Undisputed Champion. Really, as crazy as this sounds, if it wasn't for night one, your tag team partner, your former tag team partner, Blackheart, doing the unthinkable. I mean, what he did, nobody saw coming. So I could make the point, Dalton Skull, instead of James Taylor celebrating and talking about how he's got a world championship and 2 world titles for the first time since some people weren't even born, and for the first time since George Bush was president, it would be you, Dalton Skull, in that spot. You would have been here celebrating because you would have continued your reign as the greatest PWF Uprising champion, and you would have been that BYCW Undisputed champion. And maybe some would even say in the backyard wrestling circuit today, you would be pound for pound the best champion in the yard. But instead, because of your former tag team partner, a guy that you lifted up and you took him from the dregs. I mean, he was somewhere else down south that nobody even heard of. And you brought him here to BYCW. You put him on your shoulders. You carried him to the top. And that's how he thanks you. And that's the reason why, Dalton Skull, you're not the man that's on top, not just in BYCW and in the PWF Uprising Championship that you continue to hold, but in all of the backyard circuit.
For 345 days, I was the PWF Uprising Champion. For over 100 days, I was the BYCW Tag Team Champion. And at the same time, you didn't see Blackheart beside me all the time. I had to bring in Maverick Knight to come and back me up because what's a group without members? So I'm going to be alone? No, I'm not going to stand alone. And then Blackheart wants to come back randomly because we got to defend our belts before they get stripped from us. And he's going to bring the Southern Viking into the group, knowing that me and him had beef in the past. All right, so I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. All right, I trust you, Blackheart. So we go in. We do what we had to do. We beat jobbers 2 out of 3 falls count. We took out them jobbers straight out like trash. And then they want to sit there. Exactly. Right there. You see it. He's tapping out. That's the first fall.
Yeah, I put the footage up. I synced it so you could just talk about it.
And this is crazy because in this moment, I knew we were on top. There was no going back. Orphan. Nobody could ever overtop me and Blackheart. But Blackheart, before he joined with me, he was losing to Blake Steele. The only thing he has on me is he beat me in a singles match. One singles match. And then we became the BYCW Tag Team Champions. And then he just wanders off in the woods. Man, that guy has a lot of problems. Look, I'm dark. I got a little bit of problems. I got some problems. But this man, He goes in them woods sometimes, and he don't come back the same.
Well, he and I have spoke, and I have something that he wants to share to the world in a few minutes. But see, I don't blame you though, Dalton. I know you've been in this game a long time. You've been here a decade. And to see this guy Blackheart, a guy, like I said, that he was in other places that no one even heard of. If you would have heard a tree fall there, you still wouldn't have heard it. I mean, basically, he was, well, not Mr. Nobody, but pretty much a nobody, not to quote the former general manager in BYCW. But there's no question that you put this man to being one of those guys that people pay attention to. And that's how he repaid you, and that's how he thanked you. And like I said, that's the reason why maybe that we're not talking about you on top and continuing your run, like you said, for over a year as the PWF Uprising champion. In addition to that, holding the BYCW Undisputed Championship, and yet now a part-timer, as you said, James Taylor, a part-timer, holds that and the other championship in Blake Steele's title, the BYCW Undisputed title.
See, I'm a man, and I'll own up when I lose. Like, I looked James Taylor straight in the eyes.
You did. We showed the handshake. Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to win or lose, but I'm going to go into that ring, and I'm going to face you like a man. No. He comes in. He Stone Cold Stunners me. Yeah, I said Stone Cold Stunners me. And then he gets Blake. 1, 2, 3. You know what? The year before that, I'll be a man and admit that I lost to Rampage Rawson, which another man that's not a BYC no more, because he wants to sit there and be cocky and run his mouth backstage. You know what? We don't got time for that. Drama's got to go. And now I'm a man of my word. And James and Blackheart, both of them, man, they still got something coming to him. And Blake, I haven't forgot about Blake. Blake want to sit there and run around and be cocky too. I'm not going to stay back. And
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, but we're about to see what Blackheart did. Now, James Taylor, at least, I mean, he's a man, James Taylor. James Taylor's a man, but this is just uncalled for. This is uncalled for. You guys, to have this happen, I mean, listen, this was just something that certainly gave you a very cloudy forecast going into night 2, and even taking away something you held proudly, which was one half of those BYCW Tag Team Championships.
I made them belts known. I've held that championship with 2 other men. I've held it with Austin Edwards, and I've held it with my cousin, Don't Call Me Skull.
Yep.
And you know what? I turned my back on both of them men, but I sat there and I was brought in this group and everything, and I was not expecting them to turn their backs on me like that. Like, look at this. He's about to hit me with a ripcord Sister Abigail.
Sickening.
Like, what?
Sickening. And he did that knowing your history, knowing your injury history, knowing certain body parts that are most vulnerable to you. And this is how Blackheart thanks you. This is how he thanks you for basically bringing you into the fold, bringing you, new Blackheart, into BYCW. This is how he thanks you. And this is obviously a man that he'll stop at nothing. He'll stop at nothing to get what he wants. And he has something to say. I'm going to put it up here in a minute or two. We actually have something from Blackheart. But, you know, Dalton, this could have been a different outcome. And I am sure that you think a lot about that. There was nothing you could have did. I know you're not going to make excuses. You're a 10-year performer. You've been in this sport. You were here last time. You talked about your injuries. You've done so much here in the backyard and underground wrestling circuit. But to go through this, I mean, it's very understandable why you're not here with certainly the PWF Uprising, the BYCW Undisputed, maybe even those BYCW Tag Team Championships, one half, which you proudly held and have held just time and time again in BYCW.
I'm not even going to lie. There's a part of me that is glad that they did that to me because...
What?
Yes. I mean, think about it. Think about it. I am on a right path now. I was so delusional. I was caught up with the belts. I was caught up with the madness that Blackheart was feeding to me. I wasn't the Dalton Skull that the fans loved. I wasn't the Dalton Skull that you knew and loved. I was this shell. I was this broken man, just tired, beat up. I was burnt up. Now look at me. I'm clear. I'm free-minded. I feel free. Maybe I needed to lose that belt. Maybe I needed to leave the black veil to become the fans' Dalton Skull once again.
But you lost those championships. You had an opportunity to end our biggest show in BYCW history. You had an opportunity here. By Speed Limit 6, Night 2, you could have had 3 championships in your possession. We could have been calling you Dalton 3 belts. I mean, you could have been the belt collector. Literally in the backyard circuit, you would have been the man. And you say you're happy, you're glad, you're here empty-handed. And you could have, if everything went into your favor, if Blackheart didn't do what he did, you can certainly make that point that a James Taylor who has not been in the ring much, you would have gotten the upper hand on him. Blake Steele, another guy that hasn't been in the ring much. I mean, with all those things, with the momentum you had, we could be talking about you as the belt collector, Dalton Skull, and you'd have 3 championship belts in your possession, and yet you're saying you're fine with it, and you're good.
It's called greed. These men are greedy. They wanted the belts. James Taylor, like you said, what was it? How many years? 13
19,
years? Or how
19,
many years?
19 years. Yeah.
Guess what? He's world champion. Hat off to you. But you got the biggest target on your back now on BYCW. And it's just not me gunning for you, James. It's everyone. That's the world championship. Blake was gone half the time. Are you going to be gone? Are you going to be on the screen? I know you're back there. I know you're in comic. I know.
Oh, he's here. No, James Taylor is definitely here. Oh, wait, he's definitely here. James Taylor wouldn't miss it. In fact, James Taylor said on Sunday he was going to be here in the chat. So there's no question. James Taylor knows. But you make a good point before I get to Blackheart's video. Blackheart has a video for the world. But you make a good point about James Taylor. James Taylor is 41 years old. He's 41 years old. And he hasn't been a world champion since George W. Bush was president. He hasn't been a champion since 2006. There are people here in this chat. There are people here in the BYCW locker room that weren't even born when James Taylor was a champion. James Taylor doesn't know how to defend a championship. James Taylor hasn't been a full-time performer in nearly 2 decades. You've shared locker rooms with James Taylor, multiple places. You worked with James Taylor. You've been in the ring with him in other places. But James Taylor doesn't know how to deal with going from being the hunter to the hunted. And he's got a very large BYCW locker room right now that has a target right now for the back of the nemesis James Taylor. And I don't know if I'd want to be James Taylor right now in BYCW, because especially after what I just saw Blackheart do to you, I mean, who knows about Blake Steele? But there are other talents right now that they're looking at James Taylor and they're going to think it's easy pickings. He's 41 years old, hasn't been in the ring much. I mean, he admitted selfly a few months ago when he returned to the trampoline. He hadn't been on a trampoline since 2004. I mean, he may not know his way around, and he may only be championed about as short as a New York minute, the way you explain it, and you might have me convinced, sir.
See, I'll give James the respect where it's due. He's been doing this longer than I've been born. I was born in May 25th, 2000. It's been longer than I've been here.
Yeah.
But I've been doing BYCW longer than he has. 10 years. 10 long years. Championships after championships. Records after records. And that's not including what I've done at other companies.
Yes.
How many companies I worked for. I've even went on the indies a little bit.
Yes, because you've had several matches in the indies, by the way, the last couple of years. Absolutely.
And, a lot of people are still calling me crazy because I do wrestling on a trampoline. I'm not crazy. I love wrestling. And BYCW is backyard championship wrestling. I got into it for the love of the sport. It doesn't matter what we're doing it on, as long as it's bringing out good content, bringing out good matches, bringing out good footage, bringing out good everything. Now, if it's some bullshit, I'm sorry if I'm not. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or
You
not.
can see you're Dalton Skull. Well, I'm not going to put the mute button. I have one of these, by the way. Since you last came, you want to laugh before you say it? I got one of these now. We haven't had to use them much recently because it's usually for Anthony Steele, so you're okay.
Okay. I'm trying to keep the cursing on a low, but you don't have me over here doing yeah. Let's get this video shot. Oh wait, dude, that was cool. Oh, that was cool. And then you just see the bottom of half of the screen. No, BYCW has some of the best content, some of the best backyard wrestling. Now, if you want to watch professional wrestling, go watch WWE or something. If you want to go watch some underground, go ROEW, other stuff like that. Now, if you want to watch backyard wrestling, come to BYCW. We're one of the last true pioneers of backyard wrestling. I mean, think about it. Everybody else has gone to a ring, which once I get the money, I will go to a ring myself. But we are trying to keep what was happening in the late 90s and early 2000s alive. And that's what the spirit of BYCW is, because I watched ESW, stuff like that, when I was younger. And that's what made BYCW.
Yeah, Osiris has been here. I had Austin G the day before you came here. Osiris has been here 3 or 4 times. He and I speak from time to time. No, listen, I mean, there is a spirit. We're all Wrestling Matters here on Sportswire. But, you make a good point, though, before I do get to Blackheart's video. I know a lot of people here in the chat. We're going to get to you. But you make a good point in that right now in the backyard wrestling circuit, yes, in the underground, there are companies like ROEW, IMF, NEW, TF Crew, which is kind of a hybrid underground indie company, that they're doing great things. But when you think about in the backyard right now today, BYCW is right there at the top of the food chain. You think about BYCW, you think about BTW, you think about a few other companies, but it's BYCW right now with the names you have, the amount of people that are talking about right now in the backyard, companies and wrestlers. BYCW is right there at the top. I mean, we've been talking about this for months. I mean, you guys have been coming on here and there for the past 8 or 9 months since you've last come. I mean, we've had, obviously, Austin Edwards. We're going to make an announcement. He's been here a bunch of times. You've had other guys from BYC. I see Brett Anderson's here in the chat. He's been here. He's a friend. Will Jackson's now a part of the company. He's been a friend. I mean, you've had a lot of guys. Yes, James Taylor, obviously. I mean, he's been here like every day. But, I mean, no, we're only kidding. Not recently much every day. But you know what I'm saying. But the point is that BYCW, when you think about classic backyard wrestling, BYCW is right there, and I think that's a good point.
I strongly stand by that. I'm not trying to say my company's better than your company. I've never been that person. BYCW's not better than anybody. Nobody's better than anyone. If you're walking around with an ego like that, you're not going to make it far, kid.
They say that in heavy metal, by the way. I get a lot of the bands on, the big bands, and they always say, nobody's, there's always somebody out there that's either a better guitar player, a better singer, better bass player. So, yeah, it's, well point taken.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. When people see me when I do backyard wrestling and stuff, they thinking I'm doing, moonsaults and stuff all the time. Because no. I do some high flying stuff, but I'm not doing it constantly because of my size. I'm more of a ground and pound. I do suplexes, stuff like that. If you see me, I normally hit a power bomb, and it doesn't matter what size the person is. I'm gonna try to hit them with a small drop power bomb, something like that. And if I get you with a power driver, you're dead. I mean, ask Austin Edwards.
Austin Edwards is waiting for his moment here. There is a lot of people that want to talk to you, and I'm going to get to you. But if you are here right now, you should hit the sub button for BYCW. And I have some announcements I see some people I haven't seen in the chat. I have some announcements for them to come on. But let me play Blackheart's video. I want to get to a very quick video. I want to get your reactions toward it because I actually have it synced up. Yeah, I want to get it, and I want to get to the people here in the chat because a lot of people want to talk to you. They've been waiting for this. So let me go like this. Let me share my screen, and we're going to pull it up right here. And let me play it. And now, let's see.
Dalton Skull, I've seen the emptiness in your eyes. You're searching for something, but you don't know what. I'll show you the darkness that's been waiting. Death is coming for you, and when I find you, you'll be consumed.
I'll play it one more time.
Dalton Skull, I've seen the emptiness in your eyes. You're searching for something, but you don't know what. I'll show you the darkness that's been waiting. Death is coming for you, and when I find you, you'll be consumed.
You hear that? Death and being consumed in the darkness? I mean, Dalton Skull, boy, that was dark.
If they want to say the darkness consume or whatever, Blackheart with his little cult, his little buddies. If you know my career, I have a curse that also shows a little bit of a darkness in the darker half of me. Blackheart, you don't want to go there. And sometimes when you bring out a little bit of a hex, it's not a good idea. And if you watch my career very closely, Blackheart, I want you to listen to this. I want you to look into my eyes. I want you to look at me. I know you're right there. I know you're listening. Look, I'm not scared. These mind games, these things that you're playing, I can play them right back. Me and you shared a locker room together. Me and you, we talked. I know what goes on up here. You know what goes on up here. But you've never seen the true dark half of Dalton Skull. You just saw a broken version of me. Now, if you want evil, you want true darkness, I'll give you that. But until then, I'm going to worry about James Taylor and all the other things that I have to do before I go to James Taylor, like face my cousin. And your little lackey, Maverick, he didn't get the job done. I don't think he's going to get the job done, Blackheart. And I know you're not going to get the job done because you're getting a little soft. Where you been? You're letting everybody do your job for you. Come on back. Come on back. I'll knock off my gear. I'll get my stray jacket out. I'll put on my mask. Me and you go one-on-one. Blackheart versus Hex. One last time.
I haven't heard that in a while. I haven't heard Hex in a while. And for you to do that, I mean, boy, maybe Blackheart is barking up the wrong tree. Maybe Blackheart doesn't know what he's getting into. He may say death is coming. He may talk about the darkness. He may talk about all these different things, but maybe Blackheart is just like everybody else. Because at the end of the day, Dalton Skull has been the one constant in BYCW. People have come and gone. The names have changed. The places have changed. The champions may have changed over the past 10 years, but the one constant's always been Dalton Skull, ladies and gentlemen. Dalton Skull has stood the test of time. Dalton Skull is one of those guys right now in the backyard wrestling circuit who has become an elder statesman. Dalton Skull has been one of those guys that has risen to the top of the food chain. And Dalton Skull isn't going anywhere by a long shot. And Blackheart can try all the games. He can talk about death all he wants. He can do a number like he did after their successful tag team championship defense at Speed Limit 6 Night 1. But I'll tell you what, the only speed limit that's going to be happening is a stop sign coming to Blackheart if Dalton Skull gets his way, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we are very excited here. We have a lot of people here in the chat. I'm going to get to them. We'll come back to James Taylor. We'll make some announcements. We've got a lot of different things here. And I want to get to Justin Parsley. By the way, I got to give Justin Parsley a big little plug here for a minute because I want to get to some people. I'm going to go in reverse because there's a lot of comments here for you. You haven't been here in a minute, and I want to do something that I will do, even though I don't think I'm going to appear on it. But Justin Parsley actually has, it seems like a roast of Justin Parsley. It is a roast of Justin Parsley, and yeah, he's being roasted because, well, he can do that. But he's not doing it here because we've had too much coverage in the heavy metal in the mainstream world that I don't want to get thrown off there. But he does want to compliment you that you're the nicest dressed yarder he's ever seen. I mean, that's a very nice compliment from a guy who hosts Jeopardy Trivia.
Didn't he just lose his PWF title too?
Correct. He did.
I mean, I appreciate it, Parsley. Nothing but respect. I've always loved your work.
Yeah, I like Justin Parsley. He's the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, actually.
Be like, fuck you, Parsley, but I'm like, he's cool.
Yeah, he is a cool guy. He's a cool guy. In fact, he's such a cool guy that I'm going to tell people where they should watch his roast. It's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, and you can watch it on his YouTube channel. And he'll have I'm sure, a bunch of guests that you've seen here on this platform. He'll, I'm sure, have plenty of remarks. It'll be an interesting conversation, and it'll be on before we go on the air. So give him a sub. He's part of the family. He's the hall monitor. He's been in the Hall of Fame more than anybody else. And I'm going to instruct everybody to watch his YouTube channel tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It'll be the roast of Justin Park. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But I'm not appearing on there because I don't want to get into anything that could incriminate us, because we get coverage in the heavy metal world, and I'm really, really nervous about ruining that right now, because I have another band coming on that just played a really big festival with the Cult. But we'll get to that later on. Yeah, we'll get to that later on. That's not tonight. But let me get to some other people coming on here next Sunday night. The Alpha CJ Junt, of course, from our friends in the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, LBYW, who is having their last season. We're going to talk a lot about that next Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Backyard wrestling in a ring is overrated. Outside in an actual yard is the way to go. Real backyard wrestling. No hate on ring stuff. Would be dope to wrestle in a ring. Just wanted to share his thoughts. Listen, it's wrestling's for everybody. If you want to wrestle on a trampoline, you want to wrestle on a mat, the ground, I'm not the arbiter of that. I'm all Wrestling Matters, and you got my support. You know, that's the way I look at it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the guys in the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. The latest Supernova show just took place, and we'll talk a lot about that. I know you've been in and out of the Nexus over the years, and LBYW has been one of those anchors of the Nexus. And speaking of people that are here that I haven't seen in a while in the chat, the headline, Aaron Blaze, says that's a name I haven't heard in a while, Hex. He wants to say hello. He also wanted to say a couple things here. I will say this on the crazy note. Dalton, other people here. Wrestling is wrestling, and not everyone is able to do things in a ring. Passion shouldn't take away anything from the overall picture. It's wrestling, and we love it. You know, I'm glad that Aaron Blaze said this. I'm glad he said this. You know why I'm glad he said it? Because last night I was on with the wrestling promoter, Timothy Titan. What I said was, I'm here to bring people together. I know people have opinions. Everybody's entitled. Everybody can do whatever they want. I am all for whatever you want. Anybody can do anything. God bless you. I got your back. But I'm here to bring everyone together, because wrestling is the one thing. You're in the South. I'm in the North. We got people in the Midwest. We got people from other parts of the country. We have people in the West. We have people in the Northeast. We have people in the Southeast. We have people in the Midwest, the Southwest, almost everywhere in the United States. And we've had people from outside of that. But we all are having one thing in common. That's wrestling, our love of wrestling. Wrestling brings us together. It's the thing that it's the universal language. I don't know of any sport. I've been doing this 6.5 years. I've covered college basketball. I used to cover players. I would talk to them, interview them on a weekly basis. This is the one sport where everybody seems to be on the same page, no matter where you're from, what language you are, what accent you have, what background you are. And that's why I am always going to support everybody that's out there in some form or another for wrestling.
So you're amazing, Tom. That's why we love you. But last time I heard from Aaron, he wasn't talking the best about me. So I'm surprised he even showed up here. But I mean, you know, Aaron, you're always winning belts and stuff, but I want to congratulate you on that, you know, and being in all these companies. But I got one thing that you don't have, and that is a custom Dalton Skull bobblehead. You got an Aaron Blaze bobblehead. And if you do, please leave it in the comments.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I got to admit, that's pretty cool. And I think you have a place I'm going to plug in a minute that might have helped you get that doll there, that figure. So I have a plug there for which I'll put on the screen here in a few minutes. We'll take care of that shortly. And like I said, people from all over the world, my buddy Ace Reed, there you go, Australia. See, I know my audience. Oh, yeah. And also he likes the mohawk, by the way.
Mohawk. Appreciate it. Yeah. I actually have a tattoo on the side of my head.
Wow. Well, that reminds me of who was my guest that had an 89 on their head? Somebody had a tattoo 89 recently. I forget.
I got 0. I don't know if I showed it right or not. I can't really see.
Well, you know what? I used to do a lot of basketball, and it was Dennis Rodman that used to do that. He would put the things in his head. He would shave his head, and then he would put different things in it. A lot of NBA guys used to do that. And then, of course, Mike Tyson famously has the tattoo on the side of his face. So I don't know.
Right here.
Well, you definitely got something there good, and that's why we're definitely going to support that. And definitely hello to Ace, and also we'll come back to everybody. We'll plug LBYW, we'll plug Ace, but let's get to everybody now one by one. I'm going to announce it here because I see he was the first person in the chat, even ahead of Zilla. Austin Edwards is here tomorrow night, same time, same channel, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Austin Edwards is here live, and he's going to talk about what's next for him, and he's going to talk about why he wants James Taylor before you. I mean, that's right. Austin Edwards is back. The former BYCW Intercontinental Champion, your former tag team partner, returns to Sportswire Radio, and he is going to address the world. And it's funny, Goldberg's having his last match tomorrow, and Austin Edwards, we've been famously chanting, Austin, Austin. I mean, and he's got that chant, and, well, he's up, and he is going to be competing against Goldberg in the ratings tomorrow. And I'll be tuned into Austin Edwards. But, yeah, he's back, and he wants James Taylor before you do.
I mean, that's going to be a hell of a, like, you're going to go against Goldberg, man. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. We're
going to lose the ratings battle on that one. Yeah, we'll lose the ratings battle. But, you know, it's funny. Austin Edwards, it was also announced that he's wrestling a man that's been here, Jason Noctis, from our new general manager, Chase Sullivan. And Austin Edwards he's got his own problems first before he can think about James Taylor.
That is true. I mean, he has to take care of that cocky kid. I mean, every time he's definitely got an ego, but I mean, dude's also smart in a way. I mean, he's got a head on his shoulder. You know, like he's actually smart. But sometimes that ego just gets in the way. I mean, that's probably going to be his downfall against Austin, because Austin's going to hit him with that assassination. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And he's going to put down the TPW World Champion like he put down ATK, the KTW World Champion, when he was a BYCW Intercontinental Champion. In the words that ATK said to him, you being a mid-card kid and just beat a World Champion.
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, we're going to find out. And Austin obviously is going to have plenty to say. And Austin is certainly looking to get back on track. And I've had Jason Noctis on Sportswire Radio. And Jason Noctis is certainly a guy that has a lot to say. He's definitely a talker. He's definitely an up-and-coming guy. We've seen him in TPW. He's been their champion. And he is going to be a guy I have no doubt that we're going to be bringing up here definitely on Sportswire Radio. So, we'll have to see. And I've actually got a little poster for Austin Edwards, which I kind of draw it up here very quickly, taking an old BYCW episode. And yes, we're up next because Austin Edwards is back. Yeah. He's back, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you definitely won't want to miss this one. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So that'll be 9:30. I'm going to plug our friends that you guys do have the poster for that as well. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's take this off the screen, and we'll come back to that. Speaking of former champions, also, the former BYCW hardcore champion, Brett Anderson, is in the house. And he's excited. So Brett Anderson is here, wants to say hello. And what's your impressions been so far on Brett Anderson in BYCW?
For a big man, he can move.
Well, yeah, he's definitely big, and he's been battling Will Jackson, a man he's got plenty of history with here.
Brett is a great talent. There's like Will. Brett and Will, both amazing talent. I've trained with them. Great. But, I mean, really, they're finally getting the exposure I think they deserve in the backyard wrestling community, working with BYCW, and both of them being champions already in BYCW, having opportunities like they didn't in other places, you know. And Brett, definitely future world champion. Will Jackson, definitely future world champion. I definitely could see the men becoming world champions in BYCW one day. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it could be 5 years from now. I could definitely see them men becoming world champion one day.
No, I agree with that. I always liked Brett Anderson and Will Jackson. I always thought that those guys kind of got swept in, unfortunately, with a lot of different things that happened. But those guys really did. I mean, they had talent, and they were just, unfortunately, they were innocent bystanders. And I'm glad that they're getting a chance to be here in a company like BYCW, and I really believe in them. I believed in them when they came on here almost a year ago. They were on here almost a year ago, and I really think that them coming here is going to only add further to what they'll do, and I'm happy to see their careers back. And ET's back even. I mean, so certainly things are moving in the right direction, and we'll get to some more people. Yes, hello, and yes, the usual stuff. And speaking of people that I see that are out there doing different things, Shane Davidson, man, I kind of see once in a while on here. He's trying his hand in the indies now. He's doing some indie stuff, and Shane Davidson.
That name sounds familiar.
Shane, he was in a company that you wrestled in before.
Is he that big old bulldozer guy?
He was the bulldozer.
I know his name.
Armageddon Shane Davidson. He was the Southern Bulldozer. He was feuding with Alan Michaels for a time.
Worked the BWF together.
Yes, yeah, he was in another company that you wrestled in with 3 initials. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah. I mean, respectfully, I won't say anything about them on this show.
Yeah, no, we don't want to. We wish everybody, we're not going there, but he was in that company. You definitely know Shane Davidson. He wanted to say hello. So
this big dude.
He's a very big dude. Somebody was messing with, I think somebody, I don't know, on Facebook. He had something to say.
I'm glad they didn't vote me against him because, bro, what am I going to do? Jump, get caught, bam, 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's why I like to stay on people's good side. So I want to be everybody's good side. And Shane Davidson, I think I'm on his good side. So I'm saying hello. I got to give a plug to one of my buddies who's here, who's really trying desperately to help us in the wrestling community. I want to give him a big plug before I plug some other things here from BYCW. And my buddy, Mr. Eddie Pizzo, he has got a website, duelthat.com. What he's trying to do here, Dalton, is he's basically trying to get people to go on his website. He's built belts, he's built rings, and he wants people to vote on who could be your champion, who could win your ring, and who could win whatever that you may want to vote in. And it's going to be coming up very soon. You'll see some people, because if you can do it, you can duel it, compete, vote, share, win, repeat. If you can do it, you can duel it, compete, vote, share, win, repeat, challenge, create, complete, win. And Eddie's worked very hard on this plan. We're just trying to get the right company, the right wrestlers to get behind it. Please go to duelthat.com. And I know Eddie's here in the chat right now, and he has been very supportive of us the last 2 years. So I want to give him a big plug before we get to some more comments. You have a lot of people. They've been waiting a year to talk to you, so I'm going to just run through some people here in the chat because we have them. Want to say hello to my guest here coming up 2 weeks from now. That is the WVWF Women's Champion in West Virginia. Jade May is here. Jade is wrestling next weekend. We get her right after that. She wants to say hello and also wants to say she liked my intro and also wanted to say nice to meet you. So definitely very nice to meet you. I have something for you. We're going to put up on the screen in about 10 minutes. And yeah, he's here. You knew it. He was here. He wasn't missing this one. His name was mentioned. You knew he was here. We'll come back to him. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to that. But speaking of people that you've been in a locker room with before who wanted to say hello, Cameron Cage, a man that I hope to see out there in the ring again. And,
that is somebody that I've been trying to book for BYCW for a long time now.
Yeah.
That is a man that I feel like deserves an opportunity on a platform, and he should come to BYCW and get an opportunity on a backyard wrestling show.
I keep telling him for the past 8 or 9 months that there's a lot of people that would like to see him back in wrestling. And, James Taylor, he's also got history with, and I think Mr.
Yeah, imagine that. Cameron Cage versus Dalton Skull. Cameron Cage versus James Taylor. Cameron Cage versus Blake Steele. Cameron Cage versus Drake Steele. Cameron Cage versus Austin Edwards. Cameron Cage versus the Southern Viking. So on and so forth.
Where he gonna show up? I keep telling Cameron Cage, BYCW. And he even said to me, "Yeah, I'm, I got to do it. I got to figure it out." And I mean, and he has wanted James Taylor in the ring almost as long and as bad as you have. So he knows where James Taylor is right now. He's got to come up to BYCW because I know James Taylor's days as the BYCW Undisputed and the PWF Uprising Champion are going to be numbered, especially if you get your way. And if Cameron Cage gets his way, James Taylor is going to be back to just being a regular member of the locker room. That's what he's going to be. So Cameron Cage knows where to go. Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I really hope so. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But okay, we'll get to some more comments. But
All right.
yeah, we'll say hello. Hello to Xavier Thorne. We'll say
Yeah.
hello. We'll just say hello. We'll just hello. Ox
Uh,
McCoy's in the house. How you doing, Ox? Love Ox.
nice to meet that guy.
Mr. Darkron, very excited to see you. He has some positive comments to say about you. The Underground OG, evening, gentlemen.
Much
Austin
love.
Edwards is reminding people he's here. He said it 4 times already. James Taylor's reminding everyone he's here. But yeah, we know he's here. And he's saying hello to everybody. And it is good to see Dalton Skull back on Sportswire. I wholeheartedly agree and endorse that comment. Eddie's asking what's happening, everyone. Well, it's Friday night. We have a big crowd. Dalton Skull is here, and we're having a good time tonight. And I'm very happy. And hello, and hello. We got hellos. And crazy match at Summer Bash. Summer Bash was very exciting, just like Speed Limit 6, night 1 and 2 was. And we're very excited about all the great companies doing great things. And Eddie has subscribed to BYCW. Thank you very much for that. And Darkron's car is not doing too well, and he's been getting sick, and I hope he feels better. And hope to see him back on Sportswire. And I endorse Jade May's comment. I hope everyone is doing good this evening. And we are very excited to be here. Zilla is in the house. She is always our first comment. But Austin Edwards, I mean, he's fired up. He wants back on Sportswire. So he was ready to run through a wall tonight. And he probably did. But Zilla is here. Thank you, Zilla, for being with us. And so is Cameron. Hello to everybody here, and hope you're feeling better. Hit the sub button for our friends here in BYCW. We'd really appreciate that very much. Hello. We hope Darkron is feeling better. Hello to Eddie. Hello. We got a lot of hellos tonight. Let's get to some more comments here. A lot of hellos. Now, Austin Edwards wants to come back to you. If it isn't enough that he wants James Taylor, he's got a match with Jason Noctis. Now he's saying he's got unfinished business with you because obviously you guys were tag team partners, and he's now addressing you.
See, look, he's got unfinished business. Jane's got unfinished business. Blackheart's got unfinished business. There's probably a half a locker room, if not the whole locker room's got unfinished business with Dalton Skull. You know why? Because I run everything, and everyone naturally is going to hate me like they do a so-called Vince McMahon back in the day. I don't know who runs this stuff now, but I'm pretty sure everybody hates them too. And especially when you're wrestling, they're going to want to face you and they're going to want to hurt you.
But how does that make you feel? You know, you've been doing this a while. I've had you on before. You've been definitely a name in other places you've been. You've done some stuff in the indies. But now you're this guy that everybody has in their mouths. Austin Edwards. Certainly Blake Steele in the past. We know about Blackheart. We know about your cousin Okami Skull. James Taylor. Oh, man. James Taylor's talked about you for months. I mean, it's a long list, a laundry list of guys in BYCW that have your name in their mouth. And it's a position that I don't know if you've quite been in before. How does that make you feel, sir?
It's just like normal, really. It's a normal day at work when you go into BYCW now. I mean, I was like on a rampage there for a while, for real. Like, I was a rude and like not a nice person, and I went a little wild. And
yes, bring the dog in. We got the dog in. Now tell us the name of your dog. Now we want the dog. We want the dog viewership. Let's get the dog in here. How you doing?
Right. Sorry about that, Trevor.
No. And by the way, I hear you're going to be a proud papa. By the way, congratulations. Yes, am I allowed to say congratulations to you on that? Am I allowed?
Yes, you are. Me and my fiance are going to have a baby boy.
Congratulations! Congratulations.
It's going to be Salem Luke.
Oh, what a beautiful name.
And sorry, I'll get back on topic. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Bring the dog on the screen. We like animals. You know, I've rescued a few pets before, by the way. You should know that I've rescued a few.
This is nice. He was hit by a truck.
Oh my God, people, you know what? I actually was trying to save a dog like a month ago, which got me in trouble. This poor dog, this guy, he let his dog loose, and I wouldn't let this dog leave. It was in the middle of like traffic, and I stayed with this dog, gave the dog my water, and I was like dying of heat. And people, what they do to animals sometimes, it's just we want to go Anthony Steele on them sometimes.
Yeah. But like back on topic, you know.
Yeah, let's go back on topic.
You know, it's like every time I go in there, somebody's got a problem with me. Even if there's like not a problem and there's like a bunch of assholes in backstage, you know, like I'm like, dude, You want to fight me for what reason? Because I've been champion this many times? Okay, let's lace up the boots. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make you look like a jobber and I'm going to keep my legacy going on. And you're just going to sit there after you take the pinfall. You're going to lay in a ring and be like, oh, why did I go and poke the bear for? You know? Like,
yeah.
You're going to mess with the guy that's been here the longest. Like, that's like you're going to prison. Let's hit the biggest guy and then get jumped.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I do have a plug I want to give because I promised it. And I want to make sure our friends in BYCW get that plug. And I want to make sure everybody goes to Jason's Toy Box out there. Please support Jason's Toy Box. That is in the Hilton Flea Market in Crump, Tennessee. In beautiful Crump, Tennessee. Please go out there. They've got a whole bunch of collectible items. They've got merchandise. Whatever you want, they've got it. Please support our friends over at Jason's Toy Box in the Hilton Flea Market in Crump, Tennessee. So if you're out there nearby the area, make sure you go over to Jason's Toy Box because they've got everything that you could want, especially with the holidays coming up, summer. You got some extra money. You want some stuff to do, some stuff to buy. Jason's Toy Box has got it all. They've been supporting BYCW, so if they're supporting BYCW, we're supporting Jason's Toy Box. So please go out there and support them. I see a lot of people here in the chat, a lot of people that are obviously going to hear about Jason's Toy Box for the first time. So please go out there and support Jason's Toy Box. You can see them on all of your BYCW shows. They get mentioned almost all the time. Please go out there and support them one more time in the Hilton Flea Market over in Crump, Tennessee. Please go out there and support them. So there you go. There's that. And we'll get to some more comments because we have a lot of people that still want to talk to you. And I have been getting motioned for other things.
They're also on Facebook too. If you guys want to go check them out on Facebook.
Facebook, go to Facebook. Unfortunately, I can't share my Facebook screen because on my laptop I'm locked out, but we'll make sure we say the plug for Facebook. And keep the dog in. And what's your dog's name again? Tell me your dog's
name. His name is Trevor Gage.
Trevor. Oh boy, Trevor Gage. All right, Trevor. Let's go. Thank you for being here. All dogs go to heaven. And hello. Who else we got here? We got here. Yeah, we got that. Dark Crown wants to say that he's old enough. Father, but he's kidding. He says hello. He might not be kidding because Darkron and James Taylor are like the same age. Justin Parsley's not going to bounce. He was kidding because we plugged his YouTube link. He's just doing his good business. And we got to Aaron's comments. We got to CJ Junt's comments. We praised you. We got Justin's link on YouTube. Give Justin some. I actually just realized I subbed to Justin this morning, and I didn't realize I was subbed to him. I've known him for 2 years, and I just subbed to his YouTube channel. So hopefully he won't hold that against me, but I don't think he will. He'll be here Thursday night. Don't worry. All those guys will be back here. Omen Black, Soldier GP, Justin Parsley, Anthony Steele. For my buddy Ace Reed. And first things first, I don't have a bobblehead. I don't collect, but props to you that you do. Well, that was kind of him. Maybe things have changed. A truce. Maybe there's a truce. And Ace wants to say, got to head off now. Got to get ready. I am reffing Striker's match with Brian Kendrick tonight. Wow, there you go. Congratulations. There you go. Another friend from the Backyard Wrestling Next, also Wrestling Zero. So good luck. Very well. And secondly, I believe everyone last year did and dealt with a lot. Creative and business differences aside with you and I, water under the bridge compared to other people and situations.
Wish you nothing but the best of luck, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
You know what? That sounds great to me. You know what? In honor of that, I've got this special thing. I got a new sound box.
That's awesome. That's awesome right there.
Yeah. I got the inspiration from my co-host, Teshi Tishel. We do news on Wednesday nights, and he has a sound box. So I thought, let me buy a sound box. Okay. I want to say hello to Jade, who will definitely be tuned in Thursday. And I know she'll definitely be there for Justin Parsley's roast. Thank you, Jade, for tuning in. And I hope she's doing well. I saw on X she was doing not so good with some issues with the weather out there in the Midwest. So please be safe out there, especially when a lot of issues others seem to have with one another can be handled with a simple conversation. We ain't got to be best friends, but at least a common ground for the fans and community. And I agree. I got no problem with that. Hello to everybody. Thank you, Eddie. Give Eddie a follow. Also, Jackson Blade, hello. How you doing? Nice to see you. And Dalton Skull, book Alpha next year. I got you. CJ John, there you go. Hey, listen, why not? CJ John, the Alpha, man. The Reapers.
Come on, bring it. That's a dream match.
I love CJ John. Can't wait to see the guys. They're going to start coming back here the next few weeks. CJ's here next Sunday. I also want to give my thoughts and prayers to some of the guys in LBYW, especially Ragnarok, obviously dealing with a couple of issues. So hope he's doing okay. And everybody in LBYW, we're looking forward to seeing back on here. BYCW, yes, we agree. BYCW. Thank you very much for saying that. Yes, we support BYCW. Definitely. We do need to get together and make some things work. It's time for Cage and Dalton for the first time. There you go. You know what? You come back here for a year and you're getting people we haven't seen in a while. And I would love to see Cameron Cage and Dalton Skull.
Oh, that'd be a hell of a match.
Me too. And I definitely concur. And I also want to say hello to my friend Abby out there, my lovely friend Abby, who I hope is watching with her friend Cortez. I hope that she's doing well, enjoying the show. And definitely thank you for being out there. And hope you are doing well on this Friday evening with one Dalton Skull. And I also have something for you still in a few minutes before I get back to James Taylor. Hello to everyone. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of people that are no longer unwanted, but now wanted, Mr. Torrance Banks from upstate New York. And he's saying good evening, everyone. So you got people from all over the place. There you go. See what I said about 20 minutes ago with wrestling? Or it could be from all different parts of the world, never met, have nothing in common, but we're all bonded by the same thing, our love of the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit. There you go. Speaking of people who haven't seen in a while, Michael Kirsten. Yeah, man, I haven't seen you. Hope you're doing well. I mean, he's wrestled Justin Parsley. I'm sure I'll be a part of his show tomorrow, and hope you're doing well, my man. And, yeah, definitely thank you for being here. And speaking of more, you're bringing out the people tonight. And Public Enemy number 1, 2, and 3. Well, speaking of people, bringing the people out. Speaking of people, my buddy from Brooklyn, New York, Mr. Anthony Finkel. I'm going to give Anthony a big plug because Anthony has a band and he's just been playing all over the place. In fact, he just played over in Virginia. He's from Brooklyn, and he's got a band that's playing a lot of hardcore and heavy metal, mostly hardcore. It's called Rust Eater. They've got some music out there. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. It's on a bunch of different platforms. You can check them out. Anthony is a hell of a bass player, talented guy, friend I've known for 10 years, and you definitely want to check out Rust Eater. Check them out. They're going to be touring all over the place. They've played New Jersey. Like I said, just played Virginia, have been playing all up and down the tri-state area, and they've got some great music. It rocks, and definitely go check out Rust Eater. And Anthony's also a businessman, DPH Property Maintenance, and there you go. And I'll get to another fun trivia question for you. We're going to keep rolling with the comments here, so let's go.
All right.
Congrats on the kid. Yeah, definitely congrats on the kid. God bless you, and God bless your other half, your better half, some would say. Well, your fiance.
Oh, definitely the better half. Definitely the better half.
We definitely shout her out. We thank her for allowing you to be here tonight, actually. We do want to say the better because we thank her for allowing you to be here.
You gotta love her. She's going through a lot right now, but
we're praying for you, for her. We're praying for you, and we definitely thank her so much. Speaking of people, another double champion, the ROBW and the All Wrestling Matters champion, Jason Storm, the Puppet Master, checking in case some idiot redneck pops in with something dumb to say. I wonder who could that be? He's not talking about you, obviously, but
I remember when Jason Storm came on to the wrestling scene. I remember when he would just go over to a little place called CBW and wrestle there a little bit. Yeah, I watched Jason Storm's career go. I remember when his first kid was born. Now he's got 2 kids. It's amazing. He went from long hair to no hair. It's wild.
He's been just his run. I mean, you think about in his company and what he's done. I mean, he's one of those guys that, I mean, he's had a phenomenal run the last 2.5 years. Like you said, CBW, certainly IMF, ROEW. He held the DKW championship, changed that title. I mean, he has done a lot. I mean, this guy has definitely shown, and he's shown James Taylor a thing or two, by the way. I'm sure that's what he's referring to. Yes, please be safe out there, and we will see you very soon. Speaking of legends in the backyard, the legendary Doc Holliday, of course, a champion in the TF crew, our friend in the TF crew, my buddy Gabe Sayers, who's coming out to the IMF next weekend. And Gabe, I was just speaking with, coming here very soon again. Thank you.
There's a locker room with him once.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did share a locker room with Gabe Sayers, and he will be in a locker room with other people you've shared locker rooms with. But in the meantime, let's get some more comments. Hello. Thank you for that. Hello, Doc. How you doing? And give Anthony a follow. Who else we got here? Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Yeah, close enough. And by the way, I didn't know this. Jason Storm was born in Virginia. I would have never guessed. Well, there you go. And by the way, Brett Anderson and Will Jackson are from Virginia, by the way. Hey, listen, maybe Anthony Finkel is going to be playing for ET and maybe play for Brett Anderson and Will Jackson down there. Who knows? And thank you for this comment. And a relationship every day is 50-50. Step up when you need to, and also it doesn't hurt to ask for help. I need help all the time, so trust me. That's one thing. But I got something for you. We have talked a lot tonight. I want to come back to James Taylor, get a few more words. I know you're a very busy man, but it is now time to give you something, because I've watched so many of your peers come on here in the last year. You have done a lot for our circuit, and I think it's time now to award you as the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You are here. It is long overdue, and you are now the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you. Words cannot express. This is the first Hall of Fame I've ever been even considered to be a part of, and it means a lot. It really does. Like deep down, like just trying to keep back the the emotion.
Yeah, don't cry on me. Just just don't cry on me.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I appreciate it.
I mean, we've got some pretty big names in there. I have Savio Vega in the Hall of Fame. I have Grand Funk Railroad's Mark Farner. I have LA Guns. I mean, so I've got a guy who played in the Final Four in basketball. James Taylor's in there a bunch of times, and Justin Parsley and Jason Storm. But no, we've had some really big names that are in the Hall of Fame, and it certainly, I think, means more so for guys like you in the backyard and the underground. And it's really, you guys, I'm here to honor all of you, and it's long overdue. 10 years you've put into this. You've persevered. You've went through a lot. And BYCW has grown leaps and bounds. BYCW is one of those companies in the backyard that has maybe grown the most this year. So you definitely deserve this, and it's a testament to your longevity and never giving up. And there's a quote that I'm living by. Well, it's two quotes now, that wrestlers go out there and put their blood, sweat, and tears out there. And also that you need to, you are the example of somebody that stays focused with no distractions and just keeps grinding. And you've done that, and you have grinded your way into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So congratulations.
I appreciate that. I mean, like, really from the bottom of my heart, like, you have no clue how much this means.
I'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. So you get the physical, the real thing.
It's going on my wall.
Well, I appreciate that very much, but you might want to hold back the tears, because Blackheart has arrived and he's saying he's going to put you into a retirement, and enjoy it while it lasts, my friend.
You know how many men have said that and they couldn't even get the job done? It's not, I mean, you're going to say the same thing that everybody else has already said for the past 10 years? I'm going to put you in retirement. Yeah, you're going to try to. The only person that's going to put me in retirement is myself. At the end of the day, the only way that I'm going to leave that ring is if I leave it myself. Nobody's going to make me leave. I'm doing it on my own terms. No one. I mean, literally.
Well, and we know the history you've dealt with in the ring. We know what you've went through to keep going out there. You've had a lot of battles, but Blackheart's determined. He is determined, and he wants to be that guy. And what he did to you certainly had a domino effect in what happened with you. It's certainly speed limit 6, and he just is determined. That's all I could say.
Yeah, he's definitely determined to lose.
Well, time will tell. And yes, I don't think the dog agrees with Blackheart. We don't blame. We can keep the dog in here. But yeah, congratulations. Don't worry. We're gonna let you go soon. We're gonna let you're gonna get to go soon. But I know we've talked a lot tonight. We've talked a lot about certainly your future in BYCW immediately. You've got your cousin Okami Skull. We've addressed Blackheart a lot tonight. Austin Edwards is here tomorrow. I'm sure he'll address you. As we stated, pretty much everybody has your name in their mouths. We've talked about other things, but I want to go back to James Taylor. And I want to go back to James Taylor because, we were talking about it briefly, but when you think about the history that you and James Taylor have had in multiple promotions, you guys have certainly crossed paths in one promotion particularly, and I think a lot of people want to see you and James Taylor. We have a new general manager now in Chase Sullivan, and he certainly could have that power. And I think for sure that in this community and in the backyard wrestling circuit, we need to see a one-on-one match that we were robbed of, by the way. Blake Steele ruined that. So we need to see you and James Taylor. I talked about it, and I promised to bring it up. And I knew you're going to answer this. And I'm just wanting to go back to this and see, what are you thinking when that could happen potentially?
Well, I don't think Crash and Burn is going to happen. I don't think James Taylor is going to be there for Crash and Burn. But I know after Crash and Burn, me and him can go one-on-one, man-to-man. No Blake Steele, no outside interference, nothing like that. Just me and James Taylor, and get the fans what they've been asking for the past 3 years. And that is the matchmaking of the history. James Taylor versus Dalton Skull. 2 different decades, 2 different wrestling careers. Right there. You see, he hit me with a stunner. I rode to the outside of the ring with my instinct to make sure I don't get pinned. And the next thing I know, James Taylor stuns Blake Steele. And it's over with right there.
But, if you think about it, you make a good point. And you think about in backyard wrestling, right? There are very few dream matches left. There are very few of them that are left. And there's one dream match that's out there that can happen. And that's James Taylor and Dalton Skull. And especially the history that you two have. The history that dates now 3 years. You've been in multiple promotions together. You've crossed paths in different places. And you've been intertwined by championships. We know the history you had with the PWF Uprising Championship. We talked about James Taylor previously before going after the PWF Uprising Championship. We know the history that James Taylor has had in this company, talking about you month after month. And we were robbed of that opportunity. And I think, again, while we have this chance, and especially with James Taylor on top, you wanting to get revenge, and especially after this handshake, this mutual respect, we need to see at some point soon, real soon, Dalton Skull, James Taylor, and this time for those championships, because something tells me that the outcome won't be that outcome that we saw in the main event of Speed Limit 6 Night 2.
No, it's going to be me and him. Just me and him right there. You saw it. The respect. He did it. He won. I'm going to be a man. There you go. There's your respect. But guess what? It's time to draw the line. The fans want it. You know it. It's going to be James Taylor versus Dalton Skull for the very first time here soon. Maybe sooner than we think. Hopefully in the next few months. But we know that this time Dalton Skull is going to walk out on top.
Yeah, you know what? And I think it's got to happen soon. I hope it happens a lot sooner than a few months, because James Taylor, in order to prove that he can be a world champion, in order to prove that he can be a top guy, he needs to have that match with Dalton Skull. Because listen, James Taylor can talk all he wants about being on top. He can talk about anything he wants. But you're the guy that held that PWF Uprising Championship. And, Austin Edwards talks about it. He talks about wanting a shot. All these other people that want a shot. But you're the guy that deserves that shot more than anybody else, because you're the guy that held that championship. You're the guy that's been the greatest PWF Uprising champion. You're the guy that's put BYCW where it is today. You're the guy that has been for the past decade a constant in the backyard circuit. You're the guy the past decade that has continued to persevere, defy the odds, stay focused with no distractions, and grind. And Dalton Skull, for the past decade, ladies and gentlemen, has continued to deliver. He never quits, and that's why Dalton Skull is the guy more than anybody else in BYCW deserves that shot with James Taylor.
And the men, they can get their opportunity after I become BYCW World Champion. And I'll leave BYCW with a World Championship because a lot of people don't know this. But, my time is ticking.
Time is ticking. What do you mean?
There's only so much that a man can do in a company. There's only so much that one person can do, and I've done everything that I've ever wanted to do in backyard wrestling. And it's about that time for me to put my kick pads up and my knee pads up and take time to be a father and step away from backyard wrestling. Maybe sit back in the corner, do some writing, book the show. But until, it's almost over. It's almost over for Dalton Skull. But before I retire from backyard wrestling, I'm going to take that BYCW championship from James Taylor. And if anybody else wants to go against me, they can. But I swear to you, I'm going to become BYCW champion before I retire from BYCW. I'm not going to say the exact date, but it's going to be sooner than what you think.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, this has been quite an evening, but you just heard that Dalton Skull, the clock is ticking on Dalton Skull's career in the backyard wrestling circuit. Now, I don't know when that's going to be. I hope it's from a very long time from now, but there is an expiration date. There is a time that Dalton Skull is going to say, I'm going to do other things and I'll still maybe be involved in BYCW, but that's exactly more the reason why we need to see Dalton Skull and James Taylor soon, very soon. But if James Taylor was out there, I know he's out there. I know this game. I've had James Taylor on my platform more than anybody else the last 2.5 years. But if you had any final words for James Taylor, what would they be?
James, I've looked at you dead in your eyes, probably more than any other man has. I've looked you right in your soul, and I can tell your flame's going out like mine is. Your tank's about empty. I know my tank's getting empty, and I know your tank is getting empty too. Like you said yourself, this might be your last world championship run. But you know what? If it is going to be your last world championship run, I'm going to be the man to take that because I do have respect for you, James. Unlike these other men, they say that you're a stone cold ripoff. You're going to be put in retirement home, blah, 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 blah. No, I look at you as a true competitor in the backyard underground circuit. People say that you're washed up. Well, you might be just a little bit. But you know what? You ain't washed up enough where you couldn't become a world champion once again, and you did what other people didn't think you could do, and that is become a world champion. And respectfully, I'm going to end that world championship reign before I retire myself, my friend, because I am also going to put an end to your legacy as well as mine. And if you have a problem with that, James, you know where I'm at. You know where the arena's at. You know where to call me. You know how to pick up that phone, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Skull. You know, kid. Let's do this. Let's do that. You know what, James? Let's do that. Let's do that, James. And I'm going to kick your fucking head in. And I'm going to become the new BYCW World Champion once again. And anyone that wants to stand in my way like Austin Edwards, Blackheart, or any of the stupid little Black Veil members, they can get out of my way. Because I'm going to come in with a force of reckoning. As once a good man said in 2002, ruthless aggression.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that term very well.
That's all I'm going to have to say to James Taylor. You're from that era, man. You know what it's like. You want a ruthless aggression, you got it. And it's coming from me. Respect outside the window now. I want that title, and I'm going to get it. One way or another, James. I'm going to become BYCW champion at least one last time.
Well, it seems like there can't be no other way, ladies and gentlemen, because Dalton Skull, he's going to give James Taylor, when they get in that ring, when they get in that BYCW ring for the BYCW Undisputed and the PWF Uprising Championship, he is going to give James Taylor, Dalton Skull, that ruthless aggression that we're going to certainly find out. And yeah, what? Dalton Skull versus James Taylor is going to happen. Give me a hell yeah. But Dalton, you got to do that. But Dalton, apparently I've received word that there's somebody here that wants to come on and greet you. Someone that wants to say something to you about all the things you've said tonight and some of the things you said recently. Now, it's your show. You haven't been here in a year, and I don't want to take away from your spotlight. We've had a big turnout. We've had a great crowd here. We've had the most people live on YouTube in like 5 weeks on here. We've had like 17 or 18 people on the YouTube live. A lot of people have been excited to see you. I don't want to take away from your moment, but there is someone here that does want to come on and have a chat with you before we sign off tonight. Only if you want this person to come on.
Oh, bring him on. I'm not scared.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, I'm going to do it. All right.
Bring him.
I only if you insist, because wait a minute. It's the BYCW Undisputed.
You set me up, Tom. You set me up, Tom.
Well, you said it. You said bring him on here. And James Taylor's back. He's back on Sportzwire, and he's here with a Batman hat and a Metallica shirt on. He is ready to be that superhero that the wrestling world in the backyard circuit may need. But apparently, James Taylor, you don't seem like you're in too good of a mood. I'm giving you the opportunity to respond to what Dalton Skull has said here and some.
You said ruthless aggression?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said it straight up. Them 2 words.
Oh, I get the fact that you're living in that type of moment with ruthless aggression. If I was to talk about aggression, so here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. Before there was ruthless aggression, there was attitude. And I live vicariously through that era, is attitude era. Because that's the type of environment that I come from. Dalton Skull. We did not get one-on-one James Taylor versus Dalton Skull because some little pipsqueak punk kid decided to come in there and interfere in our business. And you know damn well that wasn't supposed to happen. But nonetheless, it did. But not only did I prove to the world that I got what it takes to hang with this generation, and then at the end of the match, you came in and showed your respect. And I appreciate that. But what you're going to understand is that one-on-one, it does not matter if you got the ruthless aggression, because the attitude is going to come. And just like the old man said, who I live vicariously through, and everybody says I'm a knockoff through, I am going to go through the list of BYCW superstars. They're all on the list, and that's James Taylor's list, because I will go through every single one of them. And if that means that it comes down to me and you one-on-one, I will knock your ass out, and there ain't nothing that you could do about it. This
is
right
that the
here,
bottom line?
You have to definitely kill me to take this from me. I've busted my ass for the last 19 years to once again become a heavyweight champion. I am now a 13-time world champion. I know what it's like to be at the top. You said, Dalton Skull, 10 years that you've put on the shelf or on the map. You got a decade of BYCW, Dalton Skull. A decade that Dalton Skull has been on every single episode, every single premiere show, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, because you've been doing this that long. James Taylor has been doing it longer than that. You might have more matches under your belt, kid, and that I respect. But one thing you don't have is the bump card that I've got. I've taken more bruises, bumps, staples. I've had my head split open. I've had my back split open. I look like John McClane out of a Die Hard movie multiple times. And you don't know what that's all about. because you're too much of a little chicken shit coward. The last time I saw you, you rolled out of the ring because you didn't want to get pinned because that stunner knocked you out. I'm not really worried about it anymore, Dalton, because I got other issues. When it comes down to you and me, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to be looking at still the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in BYCW, and not anybody in this community in the backyard can stop me because I paved the way for guys like you, and I've said it 100 times over. Nobody is on my level because I am the measuring stick. And if I got paid a nickel for every time someone like you said they was going to beat James Taylor, I'd be a millionaire 3 times over. That mountain that you think that you're climbing, I'm burying bodies underneath that fucking mountain every single time I step into a yard, anytime I step between those ropes, anytime, even if it's on a trampoline. And there's guys out there, and you know and I know, there's guys out there that think, oh, trampoline wrestling's just a little pussy thing, blah, blah, blah. You know what? It's because they're scared, because they know if they step foot on a trampoline, just like that, they can get their neck snapped or whatever. Dalton, me and you's going to have to go one-on-one eventually. And I hope that you understand that you might have this last year ahead of you, and you're going to put the kick pads up, you're going to lace your boots up and hang them on the wall. I've got 16 years ahead of you, son. I'm 41 years old, and I've never felt any better in my life, and I came out of retirement. I am a world champion, and I've had matches with guys like you who just want to jump on the bandwagon with the nemesis James Taylor. And this is all for a reason, because the last time I was on Sportswire, Tom, and I know you and the rest of the world seen it, I left without saying a word because some bald fraud, sorry sack of shit son of a bitch by the name of Jason. Yeah.
He's here right now, by the way.
I don't care if he's here. He wants to say redneck trash. Let me tell you something, you bald bastard. When I make my way up to Michigan in my company, the company in all of underground wrestling, I will destroy you. I will make your life a living hell because, Jason, you are a dead man.
James Taylor is on fire tonight. James Taylor is coming out swinging. James Taylor has come out and he is pulling no punches. We've seen James Taylor pull a lot on Sportswire the last 2.5 years, but this is a James Taylor that I don't even know if I've seen before. And I have seen him on here with a lot of people, and boy, the firing round has gone off. And
Dalton, you might want to get your ass serious. If you're really going to try and take this from me, you better quit the laughing, because I don't want you to be on defense the whole night that you go against me.
Look, man, you got to calm down before you bust a fucking blood vessel here. You got to.
He's talking about James Taylor getting a heart attack on you. No, we don't want that.
You laugh because you're worried about somebody that's not around right now. It's just me and you, James. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about all that. I know what you got, Cable. I know what you got in the tank. I know what you can do. I've seen it in your eyes, like I said, but you ain't got much left in your tank like I don't. And you know what? This great, the bruises, everything that you have said, yes, that is very much true, James. That is very much true. You've done way more to your body than I ever have. But I want to say this. You know the fans want it. You know everyone wants to see it. They want to see Dalton Skull versus James Taylor more than they want to see Jason Storm versus James Taylor. That's why I'm laughing, because it just brings a fucking joke to my face, because at the end of the day, it's about me and you, James. Not about Jason. It's not about ROEW. It's about BYCW. And it's going to be me and you for that world championship once again. And like I said, anyone that wants to step in our way to even try to get involved in that match ever again, we'll fucking put their asses in the ground. Because this time, James, we're not going to have a Blake Steele coming in. This time, we're not going to have a little Austin Edwards trying to sneak his way in here. It's going to be me and you, one-on-one, like everyone wants it to be. And now you can look at me in my eyes and you can tell this time I'm not joking, I'm not playing, I'm not laughing, I'm being serious here, James. I want to face you one-on-one for that world championship. And now if you want to play games, you can go play with Jason, that bald-headed freak or whatever you want to call. Wait, now look, now he's going to come at me. Watch him say my name on the next episode of RODW. I don't care, because you guess what? You're going to put more people onto my channel. Say my name, Jason, because at the end of the night, the BYCW referee is going to say my name, the new BYCW world champion, after I beat James Taylor in our one-on-one match.
Ooh.
All respect aside, James, we know who's going to win. And it's going to be me. It's not going to be you. And yes, I'm going to say this. Like you said I would. You didn't pin me. You pinned Blake. And I haven't seen you do a one-on-one match in BYCW at all either. Every match you've done in BYCW has been triple threats.
And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That's going to be Mr. Nobody. And now what? We got this jerk off from somewhere in Tennessee, Chase Sullivan or whatever the hell his name is. Now he's the general manager. So does that mean he's going to be telling me what type of matches I'm going to be in? You're going to understand. I don't do what everybody tells me to do. I will go into that ring. It doesn't matter if there's 2 people in there. It doesn't matter if there's 15 people in there. The end result's the same. Right now, it's James Taylor 2 in BYCW and everybody else 0. Now, 2. That's it. 2 matches. But I'm still clean. And it will always be James Taylor, the high number with the W, and everybody else 0. And then you can, you listen to my song when I come out. There's one phrase in that song that stands true to everything that I say. And that is, I leave my mark everywhere I've been. And that's 100% correct, because everywhere I go, including BYCW, I have left my mark. It doesn't matter if I've only got 2 matches. I can lose this title or forfeit it tomorrow. I've already left my mark. Earlier in the night, you talked about Cameron Cage. Me and Cameron Cage do got a little bit of history. And every single time I've been in the ring with Cameron Cage, at least 3 separate times, he's eaten a stunner. He's eaten 3 of them from me. And he's done nothing to me. So what makes you think that you got even a chance to do anything to me, Dalton? Well, I guess we'll find out sooner than later.
We will. Oh, we most certainly will. And there is a lot of people that want to chime in, and I'm going to give them that opportunity. I haven't seen Woo Riders here in ages. That's what tonight has brought out. We haven't seen people here in God knows how long, and that's because of the magnitude of tonight's show. And thank you, Woo Riders. And Woo Riders famously drew something of me on YouTube. Hello, C2K is here. I'm going to say just hello. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you very much. Darkron's not just a glorified jobber. I'm agreeing with Austin Edwards. Sportswire has definitely going crazy tonight. It has been a big crowd. Jason Storm, yet you can't seem to pin me. And be careful. James Taylor is on fire. And definitely be careful. And also, Jason Storm did want to say that no one's on your level, because your level is the absolute bottom. The top of the underground is the ROEW and the All Wrestling Matters champion, Jason Storm.
Next comment.
Ox McCoy wanted to say you have 2 belts, and wanted to say what, and Zilla wanted to say hello to the Crescent Moon toy review. And yeah, I mean, so obviously I think the world wants to see Dalton Skull and James Taylor. I think that we need to see it. We tonight showed Dalton Skull return to Sportswire. Yeah, they want to see it, James. They want to see you and Dalton Skull. And this time, no more games. No more Blake Steele. No more Blackheart attacking Dalton Skull at night 1. No more any new scenarios. No more this. No more that. No, just mano a mano. The match that the world in the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit has been waiting for 3 years. Dalton Skull, James Taylor.
Dalton Skull and James Taylor. You could say James Taylor and Dalton Skull 100 times over. And yeah, that's what the world wants to see. There is Jason Storm that I've got on the back of my head right now, because he's done something that you'll never do, Dalton. And that's the fact that he made it personal with me. Me and you, kid, it's just business. And I hope you understand that, because it is just business. I respect you and what you've done for this business. I appreciate you for what you've done in this business. But you ain't ever going to be the Nemesis James Taylor. You
But
will
you may
be.
not be Dalton Skull. You may
And
not
I don't
be
have to
Dalton
be Dalton
Skull.
Skull. I am the one and only
He's been in one
Nemesis
company
James
for a
Taylor.
decade, though. You know, James, you're right. There can only be one James Taylor. But Dalton Skull has been in one company for 10 years. Dalton Skull has seen his company grow from nothing to near the top. Dalton Skull has now become the guy that everybody has in their mouth. So, yes, you are James Taylor, 130,000 plus followers. You are the man. You are certainly a legend multiple times over in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the Nemesis Sessions, the PWF, which, by the way, we're on that channel, actually. Joey Knight Jr., cheap plug, is, by the way, here Sunday night. Certainly a protege of yours. But Dalton Skull has stood the test of time. Dalton Skull is one of the few guys in backyard wrestling that can say he has been in one company for a decade. There is very few guys I can count on my hand in backyard wrestling that they can say that they have been in one company for a decade and have grown that company to a company that now you're a part of. That's Dalton Skull.
You got to give the man credit. He built a company from the ground up like a lot of guys do, but the difference between him and these other guys is his company succeeded while everybody else's is failing and falling off the cliff every single way, left and right. All the companies end. And I've been in companies that I have ended and destroyed myself. Dalton, I have no disrespect towards BYCW. I, in fact, consider BYCW, well, it's your turf, but hell, it might even be your home. But it's in the middle of my world. It's in the middle of this planet. I am the tyrant king in all of wrestling, and Jason can sit there and he's Mr. Two Belts with the All Wrestling Matters. He doesn't know what All Wrestling Matters like you and me, Dalton. Guys like him up in the north, they don't know what it's like compared to wrestlers in the south who bust their ass. You held this title, the Uprising Championship, for over 300 days. That's incredible. Not many people can say they do that. Of course, you book yourself to be champion. A lot of guys know how to do that. Not saying you did, but you earned this. You earned this championship and you held it. You defended it when you could. You did what you could. But then the time ran out on you when I showed up. The piss started rolling down your leg. I saw it when my music hit the first day I came out because you didn't know what to think. Because the last time you saw me years ago, what, 1, 2, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
I beat your daddy. And I already told you this, but it's regardless of the fact, Dalton Skull and James Taylor have a date with Destiny. And it's going to be for the undisputed championship of the world in all of backyard wrestling, because that's what BYCW stands for. And there's a lot of guys that want to try and knock on this company and put them out of business. There's a lot of guys that want to give us shit because we jump and fight and scratch and claw on a trampoline. But no matter what, BYCW, this isn't me blowing smoke, it's just a fact. BYCW really is that heart of hearts. It comes from my old TWF days, the Texas Wrestling Federation that I owned, that I had for about 8 years, going strong. And we started on the trampoline and we ended on the ground. And that was the heart of hearts when it came to backyard wrestling. Dalton Skull has brought that into the modern times of YouTube 2025. That's where I'm going to give you the credit. But right now, the biggest thing is that this is in my possession. And this is going to be a whole lot more difficult, not just for any other superstar on the roster, but for you to take it off of my hands, Dalton Skull.
Well, once that day comes, James, we all know We'll find out on that day. You say that you're going to be coming out champion. I say I'm going to be coming out champion, but nobody really knows. That's one side of the coin, and that's the other side of the coin. Sometimes when you flip a coin, it might land in the middle. You never know what could happen.
Yeah. You never know. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. You never
At the
know.
end of the day, we're just talking. At the end of the day, we're just looking at each other through a screen right now. But one day soon, the fans will look in the screen to see me and James Taylor versus each other. 1-on-1. No other bullshit. Just James Taylor versus Dalton Skull for the BYCW Undisputed World Championship.
And I think the backyard wrestling community as a whole wants to see this match because this is the match that people have been wanting for 3 years. This is the dream match in the backyard circuit that people want to see. There are very few of them left. This is one that is definitely main event level. And this is one we're going to be talking about for a very, very long time. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Rule Riders, for subscribing before we sign off. And Jason Storm, though, is defiant. He has made it personal with you, James Taylor, and Dalton. He's just saying, get that belt real quick and wrap it up quick, and nobody wants to see this. That's what he's saying. And listen, Jason Storm's also got 2 belts, and he's the guy. I mean, he's the guy that's got 2 titles also, and he's just not impressed. And he's obviously got his own date with destiny with James Taylor, and I'm sure that day will come. But right now, tonight, it's about James Taylor and his future as the BYCW Undisputed Champion, and his future of when he will return to the ring, defend that championship against who? Austin Edwards is here tomorrow night. He will be addressing James Taylor once again. He will be addressing.
If he's going to keep pushing my buttons, if he's going to continue to run his mouth, Dalton, probably the best thing for you is to reach out to Jason. Reach out to Jason, the world champion of ROEW in Michigan. And my advice to you, Dalton, right now, because in the mood that I really am starting to get in even more, is to tell him to back off. Because if the son of a bitch doesn't back off, I swear that the day that you and me wrestle, it's not going to be a spirited contest. Because that night, I'm not going to be looking at Dalton Skull. I'm going to be looking at Jason Storm, and I'm going to hurt you. You will be Jason Storm that night, and I will make an example out of you for him.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
James.
We will find out. We will find out. But before we're going to find out. We are going to find out. And if you are here, I want to give a couple of quick plugs before we sign off tonight. You have to hit that sub. We have a lot of people saying they've subbed to BYCW. You need to go sub to BYCW on YouTube. Please do that. I cannot stress enough of that. Hit that sub button for BYCW. This is where you can see James Taylor in action. This is where you can see Dalton Skull in action. This is where you can see Austin Edwards, Blackheart, and also on Instagram. You are on Instagram. Get your BYCW paraphernalia, your coverage, your following, all that good stuff in a bag of chips. You will want to go here. I have the link right in front of me. There you go. We're also getting ready for our next big show. We have a lot to talk about there with that. It's coming up very soon. Crash and Burn 3. I am sure Austin Edwards is going to be talking a lot about that. We know we've got Brett Anderson, Will Jackson on the can here that are going to be coming on soon. I mean, I am sure Blake Steele is going to pop up one of these days. Chase Sullivan is going to certainly, I'm sure, be announcing what he's going to be talking and doing very soon on BYCW TV. And yes, I agree. Dalton Skull can wrestle. He can most certainly do that. And if you are here, hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for BYCW. And yes, also, Austin Edwards has major respect for both of these guys for what they do. Y'all do what y'all do. Tear the house down. Omen Black is in the house. The IMF champion obviously wants to greet everyone. He will, I am sure, be very busy on here Thursday night. He will be here on Thursday night. And I am sure he'll have plenty to say about his situation. And he says hello to Dalton Skull. Obviously, these two men, certainly two warriors, having a mutual respect for each other. And we are excited about that. I'm sure Mr. Black will be tuned in. Wait, there he goes. He's holding that championship, that PWF Uprising Championship, and Dalton Skull is motioning something. Dalton Skull is motioning something before we sign off, and he's got a belt in his hand, and he's got a belt in. Yes, he's the Dalton Skull. He's got his own championship. He's the underground champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems as if Dalton Skull has unveiled a new championship because it says here Dalton Skull champion. And boy,
if you know my career, it's kind of like
going with it because I wasn't going to say the company's name on it. I was just trying to go with it.
No. You good. It's a little Easter egg here tonight. You got your own little belt, but guess what? This belt probably means more to me than any other belt.
And Dalton Skull has a bobblehead.
You see those 4 letters?
Oh my God!
You see those 4 letters?
Ladies and gentlemen, which championship
is this not
is
your
more?
heart?
Dalton Skull's got his own bobblehead.
Not your heart, Dalton? Is this not what you broke your back for?
You know what? No. Dalton Skull's got his own bobblehead. Dalton Skull's got a dog. You've got a cat. Dalton Skull's been one company for 10 years. James Taylor, you may have 130,000 followers, but you don't quite have your own bobblehead. I mean, there are some out there that might have a Taffy's Lounge, but Dalton Skull's got a bobblehead. He's got Jason's toy shop. Go to the Hilton Flea Market over there in Crum, Tennessee. I mean, he's got it all. And one thing that James Taylor has, though, for now, is the BYCW Undisputed Championship or the PWF Uprising Championship. But tonight, Dalton Skull got something on his own before we sign off, and that is becoming the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And boy, what a show. Dalton Skull returns for the first time in a year, and he had a lot of people here tonight. And I kind of agree with Omen. He did respectfully say he likes the bobblehead. He did say he likes the bobblehead. It's a nice gesture. It's nice. It's a pretty nice bobblehead. I have to say the bobblehead is well done. It is certainly well kept, and it looks like Dalton before we got the mohawk. And James Taylor though has got that Batman hat on. He's seeing Superman this weekend. He saw Jurassic Park last weekend. Abby's paying attention to that one because Abby went to sleep and took a nap because she definitely heard enough shout outs from me. But that's okay, ladies and gentlemen, because Dalton Skull and James Taylor are here together. This was an epic moment. This was like Rock in Austin. This was like Hogan and Rock WrestleMania 18. This was certainly like Sting and Triple H. And yes, we love Dalton Skull. And an amazing time with you in the ring, bro. We had an amazing time here. Thank you, Omen Black. Thank you to Zilla. Thank you to everybody who has been here tonight. And do you have any final words, gentlemen, before we say sayonara?
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone that has ever been there for me, for this career, even the ones that we don't even speak on today. You know, the people that has helped me come to Sportswire, that's helped BYCW grow into the company that it is now today, make the championship what it is now today. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank my loved ones. I want to thank God for everything that has been done, like for me, what he's blessed me with. And I want to thank you for introducing me into the Hall of Fame. There's just so many things that I'm a very grateful and very happy man.
Well, you deserve it. No, you deserve it. You're a good man. I always root for guys like you, and I'm so happy you finally came back. And it's hopefully you don't come back in a year from now, but hopefully a lot shorter or sooner than that. And
maybe do it about a month or two. I got good Wi-Fi now.
Good. Glad to hear. And heading home from a former WWE wrestler's house, what does the fox say? There's a hint. Well, it wasn't Rhino's house because Rhino's in Michigan. I don't think it's Rhino's house. But that's a good trivia question. I'm sure maybe Omen will tell us on Thursday's show. But what does the fox say? Well, I could think of a fox, but I'll leave that at that. But yeah, go follow BYCW on Instagram. Check them out on YouTube. Check out Dalton Skull. Check out James Taylor. James, you want to say anything before we sign off and say goodbye? You have anything you want to say?
Appreciate you letting me come on here to vent a little bit.
You were here from the beginning. Even Dalton said you were coming on. Dalton said he knew you were going to be here. He said it from the first minute he came on.
Dalton, it's always a pleasure. And if anybody has shown true respect to me. Not that I need it, not that I crave it, not that I am begging for it. It's you though. You've shown tremendous respect, and like I told you in that contract signing before Blake ruined it, I could tell you got a lot of heart, you got a lot of gumption, and that I respect. But it's not going to be enough. I took this already. I took this from you. Yeah, you're right. I didn't pin you, but I will pin you to make the stamp on it because I am the true. If anybody deserved the PWF Uprising Championship, it was me. But Dalton, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
I agree
I hope
about
you're ready
that.
for it.
And I want to see it.
I'm more than ready.
I think we're all ready to see it. And hopefully Chase Sullivan is out there. He makes the move. He puts that match together. We want to see it. And I know we're going to see it on BYCW TV. And this is Dalton Skull, the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And we want to thank everybody here for tuning in tonight. Also want to give a quick plug one more time. If you want, before we go on the air, before Austin Edwards is on here at 9:30, there's a roast of Justin Parsley on his YouTube channel. So I'm sure there'll be certain people that'll tune in. Give Justin a sub. He's our hall monitor, and I am sure there'll be plenty of laughs, but I'm not going to be taking part in that. And the dog is coming on. The dog is here. It means we got to go because the dog wants to be with his owner, and he wants to be loved again. So we know that we're out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, everybody, here for tuning in. Dalton Skull makes his triumphant return for the first time in a year. Hopefully he comes back a lot sooner. And then the man that was here, James Taylor. There can't be no other way because James Taylor, the BYCW Undisputed and PWF Uprising Champion, is here to greet Dalton Skull. And hopefully that Dalton Skull bobblehead is here to tell the world that James Taylor versus Dalton Skull will happen. And there can't be no other way. And Owen Black is going to be the MC. He is going to be the master of ceremonies. Boy, you're going to certainly not want to miss that one. I'm going to be watching. I hope you will too. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I am sure this will be a lot more kinder show than Mr. Parsley's show tomorrow because there's certain things on his channel he can get away with that we can't because we were just in blabbermouth.net, which is basically heavy metal's version of Rolling Stone, and we really don't want to jinx it because I have another band coming on this coming Wednesday, which is pretty big. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for BYCW. Hit the sub button for all the great companies that are here in the chat. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. All on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Austin Edwards. Also, 8 o'clock Sunday night, Joey Knight Jr. And until then, be